Okay, so this is 11.8, day 2 homework. You were supposed to do 4 and 5 on the very back page. And we're going to expand these using combinations. So, our first term is a 2x in this problem. So we're going to have to do a little more work on this one. So, finding our combination for the first part is 7 and a 0, and then multiplied by the 2x, which is going to be to the 7th power, and then we're multiplying by our second term, which is 5, and that'll be to the 0 power. Our next term, the coefficient, is the 7 with the 1. 2x is going to be raised to the 6th. 5 is raised to the 1st. Decreasing the first exponent, increasing the second, remember. And then we have 7 and 2. 2x to the 5th, 5 squared. Next term is 7 with a 3. 2x to the 4th, 5 cubed. With a 4, 2x cubed, 5 to the 4th, 7 with a 5, 2x squared, 5 to the 5th. Then I ran out of room, so we're going to continue down here in the second line. So it's plus. Our next term is 7 with a 6, 2x to the first power, 5 to the 6th power, and our last term is 2x to the 0 power, 5 to the 7th. So now we need to find the combinations and multiply through. So the first one, our combination, we get a 1. 5 to the 0 is a 1, so you have 1 times 1. Now you have 2x to the 7th power, so you need to raise that 2 to the 7th power and that x to the 7th power. So 2 to the 7th power is 128, and then x to the 7th power. And again, that was multiplied by our combination, which was 1, and 5 to the 0, which was 1. So our next term, the combination gives you 7, and you have 5 to the first power, so you have 5 times 7 is 35. And then you're raising 2x to the 6th power. So you need to raise the 2 to the 6th power and the x to the 6th power. So 35 times 2 to the 6th power gives you 2,240. And then you have x to the 6th. For the third term, you find this combination, which it gives you a 21. You have 5 squared, which is 25. So you have 21 times 25. And then you have 2x to the 5th power. Again, raising the 2 to the 5th power and the x to the 5th power. When you multiply that out, you should get 160 16,800 x to the fifth. And then your next term, again, this time you're raising 2x to the fourth power, so you need to raise the 2 to the fourth power and the x to the fourth power. Simplifying that, you get 70,000 x to the fourth. Your next term, when you simplify the combination and multiply everything out, you get 175,000 x to the third. Your next combination and everything simplified gives you 262,500 x squared. And I'm running out of room, so I'm going to continue down here, plus your next part being simplified gives you 218,750 x. And your final term, this combination gives you a 1. You have 2x raised to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So you have 1 times 5 raised to the 7th power. 5 raised to the 7th power is 78,125. So that's your expansion of 2x plus 5 to the 7th. And number 5. Number 5, I'll use Pascal's triangle, which gives, oh wait, we're supposed to be doing combinations, never mind. So I'll use the combinations. We're raising x plus 5y to the fourth. So our first coefficient is 4 and 0. Our first term is x, and that's being raised to the fourth. And then that's multiplied by our second term, which is 5y, and that's being raised to the 0. Our next combination is 4 and 1, x to the third, 5y to the 1, 4 and 2, x squared, 5y, quantity squared, 4 and 3, x to the 1, 5y, quantity squared, and your last term is 4 over 4, x to the 0, 5y to the 4th. So now, simplifying your combination, the first combination gives you a 1, 5y quantity to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So you have 1 times x to the 4th gives you x to the 4th. Your next combination gives you a 4 times x cubed times 5y to the first. So you have the 5 times the 4 gives you a 20 times x to the third, and you have your y. Remember, this entire quantity is taken 5 to the first power, y to the first power. You have to distribute that exponent. The next combination gives you a 6. So you have 6 times x squared times 5y quantity squared. So we need to distribute that exponent. So we really have 5 squared and y squared. So we have 25 times 6, which gives you 150. And that's x squared. And when you square your y, you have y squared. Your next combination gives you a 4. And you have 5 to the 3rd power when you distribute this exponent through. So you have 4 times 5 to the 3rd power. 5 to the 3rd power is 125. So 125 times 4 is 500. You have x to the 1st power, which is just x. And then you're cubing y, so you have y cubed. And then our last term. This combination gives you a 1. You have x to the 0, which is 1. And then you have 5y to the 4th. So 5 to the 4th gives you 625. And then y to the 4th. And that's your expanded binomial. So the key with these two is remembering that you have to distribute your exponent when you have, say, 5y or the 2x. You have to distribute the exponent. And we were skipping number 6, so you don't have to worry about that one. And we're done.